Over the last 40 years, we've witnessed one special effect after another in the movies. It seems that since the early 70s, nearly every decade has introduced another major development. At first, it was blue screen, then green screen, CGI, motion capture, high def 3D, and who knows what's next. I think The Matrix, done in 1999, with Keanu Reeves here as Neo, symbolizes this trend with its story bending time and space so that motion is one balletic special effects dance. With Star Wars, this being Episode 5, 1980, a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, titles were tedious. Then the opening crawl of Star Wars swept across the screen and made the simple act of reading as cinematic as any other part of the film. These titles, these actually from The Empire Strikes Back, were produced surprisingly do-it-yourselfish by slowly panning a camera along a 6-foot piece of text. The 300, done in 2006, to achieve the shot-for-shot adaptation of Frank Miller's Spartan comic, director Zack Snyder photographed the graphic novel and built the set and each shot around it. The iconic cliff-top fight involved filming a few actors falling and then replicating them in post-production for an army of tumbling warriors. Ghostbusters, done in 1984. He's a sailor, he's in New York, we get this guy laid, we won't have any trouble. That was Bill Murray's suggestion to deal with the 100-foot Marshmallow Man terrorizing New York. Bodysuit actor and character creator Bill Bryan probably would have preferred that suggestion to being cooked alive by the Ghostbusters. The costume was made of 2 layers, an outer flammable layer and an inner fireproof suit. In 1994, we have Forrest Gump. Forrest Gump took a lot of critical flack for reinterpreting American history and CGIing Tom Hanks' naive Gump into iconic newsreel footage. One thing that did quietly amaze, though, was how animators managed to amputate able-bodied actor Gary Sinise's legs. The answer? Very clever socks. In 2001, with The Lord of the Rings, to tackle the challenge of the Hobbit's tiny size, director Peter Jackson used an array of simple but crafty camera tricks. Although size doubles were frequently used for the scenes that required the actors themselves, such as Frodo's memorable cart ride with Gandalf, Jackson's team designed clever props to achieve what's called forced perspective, in this case an eye-shaped cart. Avatar, in 2009, James Cameron's latest movie, the highest-grossing film of all time, was filmed entirely with state-of-the-art motion capture technology that had been over a decade in the making. Still, the raw footage is surprisingly lacking in the epic. Actors Sam Worthington and Zoe Saldana spent 31 days. Back in 1972, we had The Godfather. To achieve the realistic and gruesome effect of Sonny Corleone getting riddled with bullets, actor James Caan had fishing wire attached to pieces of fake flesh on his face. When the triggers were pulled, the crew tugged on the wire, making the bullets seemingly explode through Caan. In 1996, we have Independence Day. There's a reason Independence Day bagged the Oscar for Best Visual Effects. Although the movie required over 3,000 special effects shots, a record at that time, much of the movie's dazzle is actually achieved through practical techniques, involving twice as many miniatures as had ever been used. The main alien craft itself was 65 feet wide. In Back to the Future in 1985, when the DeLorean hits 88 miles per hour, the flux capacitor kicks in and makes time travel possible, leaving the present day with nothing but some flaming tire tracks. Alright, it's not the most seamless use of green screen. Look at Doc's feet there, it seemed to not quite connect to the pavement. But for the time it was done, and still today, it's iconic. Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest in 2006. We're not sure which is scarier, the part man, part sea monster crew of the Flying Dutchman, are Bill Nye and company in skin-tight onesies, but by wearing mocap suits on set, animators were saved plenty of hassle and could work with the raw footage. Captain Davy Jones's skin texture was based on a coffee-stained styrofoam cup. And The Matrix, as I've mentioned, in 1999, visual effects supervisor John Gaeta won an Oscar for creating The Matrix's pioneer action sequences. Bullet time, now a registered trademark, was achieved by surrounding the actors with a ring of still cameras, each time to shoot a single frame in quick succession in the motion capture green screen. And let's go back to 1954 in Godzilla. Actor Haruo Nakajima racked up an impressive 20-year career playing a smorgasbord of suited monstrosities in Japanese kaiju movies. His most famous incarnation was King of the Monsters, Godzilla. Here he takes a break from filming to practice smashing up the streets of Japan. The Life of Pi in 2012, previously undiscovered actor Suraj Sharma took a beating during Ang Lee's direction here. The soon-to-be Oscar-winning Lee shot for 10 weeks inside the world's largest self-generating wave tank, then placing his young star at the center of the state-of-the-art blue-screen boat rig to complete some of the most spectacular storm shots. And Star Wars Episode V, The Empire Strikes Back in 1980, perhaps the most iconic and parodied moment from the original Star Wars trilogy. It's not quite as dramatic, though, with a pile of what looks like old mattresses dumped below on the set. And in Inception, 2010, Inception's gravity-defying hallway fight scene took an arduous 3 weeks and over 500 crew members to shoot. 3 different hallway sets were built, including an impressive 360-degree rotating corridor. Star Joseph Gordon-Levitt trained with the stunt team for 2 weeks straight to avoid making any dodgy steps. And finally, District 9, done in 2009. Director Neil Blomkamp wanted District 9's creepy prawns to evoke a sense of disgust, using mentor Peter Jackson's Weta workshop to design the extraterrestrial refugees. Blomkamp still knew the aliens should look slightly human-esque, or else we wouldn't relate to them. So here he put this lucky actor doing the role in a revealing mocap suit, and the problem was solved.